And you know what's funny too is because like, you know, we were talking about like family parties earlier. Like we basically see each other on the holidays like 3 times a year. So like
Condensed into like 2 months.
Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. Those are the only times I get to see you and everybody else. And it's just like I wouldn't say insecure, but for me, like I don't like to talk about myself, especially when they like ask you like, oh, like it's. I hate that the typical conversation is, where do you work? What do you do as your job? And like I hate how that is like the typical. Because you know, like everybody's just
That's
like,
the defining moment. That's the defining factor of who you are as a
exactly,
person.
like,
what do you do?
What do you do as your job? And that's basically who you are. And like especially with our family is like very traditional Asian, like you know, somebody's a nurse, an
Somebody's an accountant.
like, somebody's working at a post office. It's just like the typical jobs that you would get. And here I am doing whatever the hell I'm doing. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Media?
Yeah,
We'll say media.
I'm a content creator.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like
that's that sound. Yeah, that sounds fancy. Especially in the new age where we didn't have this kind of stuff before. You know, like growing up, our parents didn't have YouTube, they didn't have the internet, and now you can basically creative is like the next cool career.
So it's something that, you know, the older generation doesn't really understand.
Yeah, they don't understand it, and they kind of maybe they look down on it a little bit, like, oh, where's the money in that? And then because
where's the intellect in that? You're not using your brain, because that's very important to Asians too. Your brain has to be working, and they don't see creative outlets as intellectual.
Yeah, because it's tough too, is because it's like, especially when you're creative, the first few years of your career is the toughest because you're basically broke. Well, it's like it's tough to be, you know, because like they always ask like, oh, how much money you're making doing that and blah blah blah, and I'm like, fuck, like, yeah, I'm barely making anything. I'm basically just surviving every month. But
well, I'm glad you brought that up, because I was about to say, it seems even outside of the Asian culture, it seems as if parents don't give their approval for creative outlets until they start seeing big dollar signs.
Yeah, until you start paying like until you start making big boy money, they're basically like on the fence. Like my mom still tells, well, not anymore. The first few months that I quit my job, they were like, oh, you should apply here, you should apply there. Like, this is a good job. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. And I had that conversation with my mom too. I was like, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do, and you're basically gonna have to deal with it. I mean, I didn't say it like that.
That is so shocking to me, because growing up, we always thought you were the more traditional one, the fob one.
I think I was, but I think
But I guess we just thought that's how you're gonna be as an adult. And then when I saw all of your photography and all of your videos, I was like, oh my gosh, who is this? This
is not the guy that I used to know.
I saw you when you were fresh off the boat.
Yeah. I think I was. Like, I had that mindset. Growing up, I was just like, okay, I'm going to go to college, going to get a good job, get married, and that's it.
And that's your life.
That was going to be my life. And then for some reason, whatever happened when I turned 27, that's when I figure out, you know what? Like, fuck this. It's just like...
What was that defining moment when you turned 27?
I had my heart broken.
Oh.
Yeah. It's funny.
I'm so sorry.
No, don't be. Actually, like, that was awesome.
Why do you say that?
Here I am now doing this. I feel like it pushed me to... It basically made me figure out my life. Because when I got my heart broken...
Did you maybe need therapy then?
Probably, yeah. And maybe I needed therapy during that time, but not as much anymore. But yeah, maybe I should definitely still check out therapy. But it made me realize that there's more to life than whatever I was doing. Because I think during that time, like I was out of college, I was working full time, maybe like a year or so.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, I was like, oh, this is cool. This is how being an adult is, just working full time, Monday through Friday, go home, have fun on the weekend. That was it. And then after that, when I got my heart broken, I was like, fuck, like what the hell have I been doing in my life? Like, why is this all of a sudden like very sad to me now? Not because I got my heart broken, but I was like, this life is kind of like, I don't want to say mediocre because a lot of people are doing it.
It wasn't for you.
Yeah, definitely not for me. I felt like I needed something more.